Hi, this is Chuck Allard. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, I want to teach you how you can make up for lost time and lost money and stop losing. And I want to teach you how to prevent the Fed from wrecking or ruining your retirement. Because many of you have reached out and said, Chuck, we've gone to cash, or gosh, we haven't because we're not sure what to do and we've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Folks, stop losing. Go to retirementprotected.com, that's retirementprotected.com, and do what Steve and Vicky did. From the great state of Arizona, they said, you know what, I'm glad we took the time to learn about these proven alternatives where you can have upside without downside. And when the market's more volatile, like many expect it to be extremely volatile, in fact, some are predicting another lost decade where your money really goes nowhere for a 10-year period. Do you realize that you would have 69% more money if the market's so volatile that it goes up 10% one year, down 10% the next year, and did that for a consecutive 10 years? You end up with 69% more money taking 100% less risk. But folks, I'll teach you also on Tuesday, how do you get this money untaxed? Because with our federal deficit, right, we just surpassed 31 trillion this last week. 31 trillion. The debt interest service alone is 500 billion just to cover the interest, which means other programs are going to be underfunded like defense. And we're going to now, unfortunately, have to spend more to get less. And that's what this government's done. Biden has ran up just in 2022 alone, spending another 1.9 trillion and creating another 4.9 trillion in deficit. He just pushed through this student loan forgiveness of what's going to cost anywhere from $400 to $600 billion to you and I, the taxpayers. So where do you think taxes are going to go when rates go up because the Fed thinks that we're going to win the battle, unfortunately, and lose the war? And we're still not winning the battle because unemployment numbers came out this week and the economy's not softening, so to speak. So all these things that they told us weren't a big deal, that have become a big deal, that they're now saying they're going to take care of, they've failed in every way, shape, and form. Unfortunately, that's failing you and I, boomers and retirees from around the country, in losing in the worry of their retirement. Let me teach you Tuesday. Go to retirementprotected.com, that's retirementprotected.com, and let me teach you how to make up for lost time and lost money. It's called indexing. And Steve and Vicky learned the same thing. They said, this is profound. Learning these alternatives, it makes sense. They're innovative. When the market's down, we do not go down. When the market goes up, we're not limited to what we can make. It's not some old school annuity. It's actually using the market in a different engineered fashion. But it's actually averaged over 16.5% just the last 10 years, taking 100% less risk. That's one strategy, folks. I'll teach other strategies with a proven track record of measured results, one of which enables you that if your accounts are down, now's the time to take advantage of converting tax, not yet taxed, to tax-free. I'll teach you Roth conversion timing strategy as well as tax offset strategy. And I'll also teach you about the Roth alternatives so you can take advantage of not only what you can do to protect from not losing, but getting rid of taxes before taxes go up. And folks, if we're going to have that kind of deficit, taxes are heading up. Lastly, I'll share with you, be careful of where this thing's being promoted in the government now. The Biden administration, of course, of all places, trying to take credit for this massive Social Security increase. Forbes had an interesting article out. This is anything other than doing us a favor. This is a long overdue cost of living adjustment because they've been way under adjusting with their cockamamie made up numbers. And now what's it done? It's predicted now that we're only about 10% of Social Security recipients had their benefits taxed, since they've never inflation adjusted the levels of what gets to tax our Social Security ever since 1984 when they started taxing Social Security. Now it's projected, especially with this increase, that now over 50% of Social Security recipients will have their benefits taxed. Translation, they giveth and taketh away, because the tax will exceed the increase to Social Security. And folks, here's the other thing that the government, again, spins it in so many different ways, that, hey, we're also cutting expenses. First time in a decade, the press secretary took credit for this week, saying we not only raised benefits, the second highest hike in Social Security's history, but we also cut Medicare expenses. You know why? They raised Medicare B over 14.5% last year. This is just giving you and I the overcharge of our money back. And get this is the one that'll just blow you away. We're not offsetting the higher increase of costs that we absorbed this year, because the benefit of the increase for the Social Security increase doesn't even go into effect till next year. So this is who we have leading this country. And the question becomes, are you where you thought you'd be? Are you comfortable where you are? Are you comfortable with this administration? Because the Fed is wrecking and ruining retirement, and you can stop that. Make up for lost time and lost money. Stop losing. RetirementProtected.com, retirementprotected.com.